Hello everybody, Daniel here. Today I am back with a video that I did not expect to record or upload today, but I just found this person while I was queuing randomly in some casual bridge random queues, and well, the clickbait was too good for me to let it go, so I decided to edit and upload this ASAP. And I also did it because I want to show you guys some of what I do and what my thought process during a fight against a person who is using a hacked client. Now, sadly, I did not get to record in first person the entire game. I only hit the record button after the first goal, which is kind of sad. So we'll have to watch the first part in the replay, but this also helps show how I start my games and how I realized he was a cheater and how I began to deal with him immediately after that. So, as you can see, I knew he was a Nick, by the way, this blue bot 9 player, so I cage shot him, and I decided to tower up at mid a bit because I knew he was probably gonna be sweaty because he's a Nick, and what do you know, he's using Blatant fast break, and he also does not take much knockback, and he's also using Blatant kill aura. Now, I don't think he was using any kind of knockback modifier cheats. You could see that he just stayed on this block for the entire duration of that fight and did not move at all, even though I was hitting him from like this direction and then all the way from down here. I'm pretty sure that was because he just had a very high attack rate with his killer or force field or whatever PvP cheat he was using, and that does help reduce knockback. It's just like in sumo duels where the person, if you're in a trade and you have higher CPS than the other person, then your attack packets, each attack that you do on your client side, it would reset your sprint and thus cause a change in your momentum that kind of cancels out your knockback, which is why high CPS is extremely important in sumo duels, and I think that's why he did not move there. Now, as you can still see, though, he was still using a Blatant anti-KB, well, not anti-KB, he was still using Blatant kill aura, force field, or whatever. He was using fast place, fast break, and also I had a lag stutter there. It was kind of unfortunate. Oh, oopsies, I fell. So I had a lag stutter there, and he caught up to me. Oh, and also look at this block. He broke this block while somehow looking over there. This is absolutely insane. Now I just decided that I'm just gonna keep trying to bypass him at that time because I had a head start. But obviously I was like playing really bad, and I wasn't warmed up, and so my bypass kind of failed. And I'm also I will admit I'm not the best at left side bypassing anyway. So yeah, that kind of happened, and then he kind of lagged me back with a block, but I got that hit on him, and he's not good enough to block clutch, so he kind of just died right from that. And from here, I decided I'd just get on top of him and see what I can do, and he stepped forward too far, and I jumped on top of him, and I did not take knockback because I'm also a bridge player, so I just ran right past. And he tried to bow me, but it was to no avail, and I scored my first goal. And here's where the actual recording starts, so I think I will go into that. So here we are in the video, and now the game actually went over quite quickly for having such a blatant cheater, so I don't get much chance for commentary here. I will do a analysis of the game afterwards, but I just want to clarify that this is not how bad I usually play. See that bypass? Like, that was a decent bypass at the start, but then I messed up completely, and I would definitely not have won that race. But he looked down below. He decided to place a bunch of blocks on my side to try to spawn block me on Tundra of all maps, and so I won that. See, as you can see, cheaters don't usually have the most number of brain cells. He also jumped right into the goal and let me like block my sword and survive, and then I jumped right in, and now he's doing literally the worst hippo of all time. And look at this, I actually comboed him here. block hits are so incredibly overpowered sometimes. Anyway, so that combo was what got me to realize that he didn't actually have any KB cheats. He was just using kill aura and fast place and fast break. So I felt I felt a lot safer after that, because this meant at least like if I was in a pinch, I could at least trade with him if I like really went sweat mode. Uh, so from here on out, I was a bit confident, and like I should not have taken that fight. I don't know why. Like even against a legit player, that was not the best fight to take, because obviously he had low ground. But I won that race and I won the game. Now, so going back into the uh actual like replay, I want to show you guys like basically my strategy for beating cheaters like this. Cheaters that don't have any brain cells and just rely on their kill aura and their fast place and fast break to carry them. So what you want to do is you want to, if you can, stay above them. So you see, I tried to stay above them, and then since this guy wasn't very good at like PvP in terms of like he doesn't have KB cheats and he doesn't deal too much knockback to me, I knew I could at least trade long enough to like usually kill him, and I did know that I do have to time crits to kill cheaters like these. Now, if they do also have critical cheats, then this might get a bit difficult, but if you time crits, as in you use jumping to time all your crits, then you do have a decent chance of actually straight up out PvPing them. Now you can see here what I mean about like him trying to spam blocks, and then like he was right there. That was right there. That was a really close race, but I won it because, as I said, cheaters have no brain cells. So yeah, I don't usually play this bad, but this was like my third game on. I did play a few games earlier in the day, but at the time that I played this, I'd just gotten back from eating lunch and doing other things, and this was my third game on, and I was not warmed up for wall running, so I was kind of screwing up. And so you see, the point of staying above them is so that they either have to stay down below to stop you from jumping down, or they have to go up and then you can drop down and bypass. So you basically want to separate the bridge into like a top section and a bottom section of bypasses, and a cheater cannot mind both, as long as there's like sufficient separation, as long as you go high enough that they can't hit you while you're wall running. Then you get that effect where they can only defend one at a time. But since you, as a good bridge player, see, I have a side which is much easier to run on. I just go here and I don't even have to, well, I messed up my jump there, but like I don't even have to stop sprinting at any point. But he, because he's a cheater and he doesn't really know how to play the game, he has something more like this, which takes him longer to get it up. And so once we both reach the top of the bridge, he's like over here, I'm like over here. I have a head start. Or he might even be like over here, and I'm over here, and I have a head start. And if he decides to come up, I drop down and wall run, and he can try to defend that. If he reacts fast enough to defend that, then the next time I'll know that he does have decent reaction speeds. I'm actually gonna unpause for a moment. So the next time I'd know he has decent reaction speeds, and then the next time I'd be faking a drop down and making him drop down. And like, I did notice that this cheater didn't have the best reaction speeds, which is why I decided to just like bypass right there. I mean, there was a wall here. I calculated that he would likely hit me into this wall, and that is what happened. So that worked out. And as you can see, I'm just abusing the fact that I can drop down and I can block clutch and things like that. And even if he can defend me, he gets pushed back, and I still maintain my head start. And you can see here, that was not the smartest play by me. I should have lured him down and then built back up, but I didn't do that. Though it was fine because, the cheaters have no brain cells. And yeah, I let him low ground me there. That was not a smart decision. Now this race was also interesting because he kind of fell at the wrong time. He was probably trying to like jump down so that he doesn't hit his head on this thing so that it doesn't slow him down, but he ended up dropping down too low and losing the race. But I still would have won that game anyway. This cheater really didn't have any brain cells. So yeah, how to defeat cheaters? Unless they have full-on fly, b-hop, scaffold, and speed and everything, then you can try to just separate the bridge into a top and bottom section, confuse them, make sure that they can't defend all your paths at once. Avoid PvP unless you know you can win. You just do all the things that you would do against a player who is, say, a very good PvPer but not a bridge main, if you know what I mean. Like someone who has all the PvP skill and no bridging, no like bridge game sense. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that game and the analysis, and I hope you guys learned something from how I fight cheaters sometimes. And I will see you guys all later. Bye.